protection.
Right.
Tell me, Walter, on this insurance, how much commission do you make?
20%. Why?
I thought maybe I could throw in a little more business your way.
I can always use it.
I was thinking about my husband. I worry a lot about him. Down in those oil fields, it's very dangerous.
And not for an executive, it isn't.
He doesn't just sit behind a desk. He's right down in there with the drilling crew. It's got me worried sick.
I mean, is there a crown block might fall on his head maybe? Like on a rainy night?
Please, don't talk like that.
Well, that's just the idea.
The other day, a casing line snapped and caught the foreman. He's in the hospital with a broken back.
Bad.
It's got me all jittery just thinking about it. Suppose something like that happened to my husband.
It could.
Don't you think he ought to have accident insurance?
Uh-huh.
What kind of insurance could he have?
Enough to cover doctors and hospital bills. I mean, say 125 a week cash benefit. And he'd rate around 50,000 capital.
Capital sum. What's that?
That's if he got killed. Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
I suppose you have to think of everything in your business.
Mr. Ditcherson would understand. I'm sure I could sell him on the idea of some accident protection, but why don't I talk to him about it?
You could try, but he's pretty tough about things.
They're all tough at first.
He's got a lot on his mind. He doesn't want to listen to anything except maybe a basketball game on the radio. Sometimes we sit all evening without saying one word to each other.
Sounds pretty dull.
So I just sit and I knit.
Is that what you married him for?
Maybe I like the way his thumbs hold up the wool.
Anytime his thumbs get tired?
I want to ask you something, Mr. Neff. Could I get an accident policy for him without bothering him at all?
How's that again?
That would make it easier for you too. You wouldn't have to talk to him. I have a little allowance of my own. I could pay for it.
Wait a minute. Well, why shouldn't he know?
Because I know he doesn't want an accident insurance. He's superstitious about it.
A lot of people are. Funny, isn't it?
If there's a way to get it like that, all the worry would be over. You see what I mean, Walter?
Sure. I've got a good eyesight. You want him to have the policy without him knowing it. And that means without the insurance company knowing that he doesn't know. That's the setup, isn't it?
Is there anything wrong with it?
I think it's lovely. And then, some, dark wet night, if that crown block just fell on him.
What crown block?
Only sometimes they have to have a little help. They can't quite make it on their own.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course, it doesn't have to be a crown block. It can be a car blocking over or backing over him, or it could fall from an upstairs window. Any little thing like that, as long as excuse me, as long as it's a morgue job.
Are you crazy?
I'm not that crazy. Goodbye, Mrs. Ditcherson.
What's the matter?
Look, you're not gonna get away with it.
Get away with what?
You want to knock him off, right? I mean, that's what this is all about.
That's a horrible thing to say.
Well, who'd you think I was? Yeah, I mean, I'm not a guy that walks into a good-looking dame's front parlor and says, "Hey, good afternoon. I sell accident insurance." on husbands. So you got one that's been lying around too long, you know? Somebody you like to make a little hard cash on? Look, baby, you're pretty, but you're no murderer. I think I should go.
And cut.